Jameis Winston, first overall pick in 2015, spent 5 years with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. This is already year 3 for Jameis Winston in New Orleans. He's back from a foot injury. Remember they downplayed it at first, Chris, when it happened on August 9. He won't be. That's a little
tweak
thing. He won't.
Yeah. Right.
12 days later, he was back for 7-on-7. One day after that, he's back in 11-on-11 drills. Dennis Allen, the coach of the team, says he's comfortable if Winston doesn't play at all in the preseason. A lot of quarterbacks aren't playing at all in the preseason. The question is, will he truly be 100% good to go week 1 between the ACL from week 8 of last year when they beat the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and I think it was Trevor Siemian that came in and saved the day?
Yeah, you're right.
And now he's got this foot that is presumably closer to 100%. I think he'll be ready to go week 1. The question is how effective is he going to be? And there's a lot of questions about the Saints, but Jameis Winston's health is not one of them currently.
No, I mean, good. That's good news to hear. Jameis Winston, as we know, I mean, if he can kind of get comfortable here, he can make plays and be dangerous as a quarterback. He made a plenty of them, in Tampa. He had a year where, he threw for 5,000 yards one year, right? He had 30 touchdowns. I know he had the 30 interceptions too, but my point is that there is still good in this guy's game. And, it's odd. They haven't played Andy Dalton yet in the preseason, and, he's the backup. They've been playing Ian Book. But, as something we have said all offseason, I mean, this is kind of the under-the-radar big deal that I don't think has gotten made maybe enough of a big deal because – I think the Saints are going to be a major player in the NFC. I think you think the same thing too. And just looking at their team, you go, okay, O-line, going to be one of the better ones in football. D-line, going to be one of the better ones in football. Secondary, pretty damn good. I mean, Marshawn Lattimore is still a top 10 corner. You got Tyrann Mathieu. Paulson Adebo, a kid that played last year as a rookie, did a good job. He looks like he's real. Chauncey Gardner-Johnson's real deal. So there's a lot to look at. Demario Davis is still real deal. And they have Alvin Kamara. And then the biggest thing is they got weapons at receiver. Chris Olave looks legit. And then you couple that with Jarvis Landry and hopefully Michael Thomas being healthy. You sit here and go, well, why couldn't the New Orleans Saints get to the playoffs? I look at them and go, no, they are definitely one of the better teams in football. But Jameis Winston, can they play this year and let it go, or do they have to manage it like they did last year? And that was he was getting used to it. Sean Payton offense, all of that, and I don't think he was free that way, and maybe that was a good thing. So we'll see what kind of adjustments he's made to his game. And see if he can, make some more plays this year to where they don't have to manage the game quite as much around him.
Well, remember the thing you spotted last year, Jameis Winston, not as efficient, not as crisp, not as accurate
Definitely
with the
not.
Underneath Sean Payton's surgical passing game that we took for granted because Drew Brees ran it to perfection.
Right.
Winston gives them more options down the field. He just needed more time, more reps, more opportunities in the very regimented, controlled, very effective passing game that they had with Drew Brees there. And the point I made last week, Chris, and I think that this is the great unknown with the Saints, who fills Sean Payton's shoes from the standpoint of the guy who is relentlessly studying film of everyone, film of everything, cataloging and filing away ideas for maybe a game they don't have for 6 weeks, but I saw something on the reel of touchdowns scored throughout the NFL this week. That may come in handy week 13, right? That you need somebody from an offensive standpoint who's going to do that. I don't know if Pete Carmichael's going to do it. I mean, he's been at Sean Payton's elbow for years.
You would think he would know that kind of stuff, right? I mean, yeah.
But it's one thing to watch the boss.
Right.
Sometimes you watch the boss in awe and say, shit, I'll never be able to do that. And sometimes through the process you become confident that you've figured out the secret sauce and you'll be able to do it.
Yeah, it's a special skill. There's no question. I got to witness that a little with John Gruden, back in the day, his ability to pull plays here and there or just invent a play all by himself. I mean, that's why Sean Payton was Sean Payton. So you're right. That's something to look at with Pete Carmichael. Okay, and again, we got Joe Lombardi in the Chargers, who looked like he got off to a really good start there. But, yeah, for one of the great offensive minds of our time, we haven't, and correct me if I'm wrong here, I mean, we haven't seen a lot of tentacles go out other places and go, whoa, look at another Sean Payton protege over there and what they're doing. I mean, maybe I'm wrong, Mike. Maybe there's somebody
No.
But
Pete Carmichael's never even
right.
Pete Carmichael's never been seriously considered by anyone.
Nobody.
To be a head coach.
That's what I mean. So it is odd
you've
that
got
way.
Sean McVay placing guys all
everywhere.
over the league.
Right, Shanahan everywhere. Right.
So
it's odd.
It makes me wonder how much of the secret sauce Sean Payton keeps in the bottle to himself. Has he really shown these other guys how he does what he does?
Right.
And would he have had any even reason to begin doing it last year? I think they're on their own.
I think there's a balance there. There's a balance. Yeah. There is. Again, even though they're working for you, doesn't mean they need to know every ingredient that goes into making the donuts. It doesn't mean they need to know all of it. Maybe the special sauce is in a secret room. I used to always be amazed in New England on a Monday or Tuesday, Josh McDaniels, he'd be in there, door closed. I don't know what the hell he's doing, but he's getting organized, and he'd come out and go, hey, here, buddy, we're going to do this, and this. And, again, we didn't necessarily see, tentacles off there either all the time. And I think there is a little bit from these guys to not let, the guys around them know every little thing they do to prepare for this, game planning on a weekly basis. And it's a balancing act, especially in this day and age of the NFL, to, like you're saying, I mean, coaches leave every 2 or 3 years, and all of a sudden, whoa, hey, you were on my staff, and oh no, now I'm playing you in the NFC Championship game. Damn, I wish I didn't tell you a few of my secrets. And I think that's a very real reality in the NFL with some of these smart offensive coaches.
It's definitely the long game that you got to be thinking of if you are in the foxhole getting through a season with these coaches who are helping you toward your current goal, recognizing they're joining a different army soon, potentially. And the better you do together, the more likely you're going to be facing him in the future. What a weird existence that is.
Oh, it is weird.
I need you now,
right?
But boy, you're going to be coming at me later. There's a balance to strike there. One last thing about Jameis Winston, because he gets clowned all the time, and people make fun of his these goofy workouts that he does, and he's given people plenty of reason to ridicule him over the years. But you mentioned it kind of in passing. We do need to appreciate the fact, and it's his own fault because he threw a pick six to the Falcons in overtime of the Week 17 game in 2019 that gave him 30 interceptions and made that the headline for the season, the first ever 30 good way, 30 bad way touchdowns and interceptions season in NFL history. He did have 5,109 passing yards that year, and there are only 4 people who have ever had more passing yards in a season than him, and they are Peyton Manning, Drew Brees, Tom Brady, and Ben Roethlisberger by 20 yards. That's it.
Yeah.
4 people.
I know.
Better than Jameis Winston by total passing yards in a season. That just gets
glossed over.
It's like it never even happened.
I know. I know. It's, and some other years of 4,000 yards and, 28 touchdowns and 18 interceptions, 22 touchdowns and 15 interceptions as I sit here and look at the stats. So there is good. And Mike, I remember us having conversations when it was over in Tampa where, I remember telling you that, man, there's a lot of coaches in football that when they were looking at Jameis Winston, the free agent, they were going, whoa, there's this guy's a little better than I thought. What, he makes some crazy, unbelievable good plays at times. It's just, could you rein it in that way and do that? And as we know, a lot of coaches, they always think, oh, I can fix that guy. I can fix that guy. And that's why Sean Payton went down that road. So we'll see if he can regain some of that form and, take away some of the recklessness at times that you just went, what the hell are you doing? How could you have played this well and made this many plays and now throw a backwards over-the-head throw down the middle of the field?
Look,
that was crazy.
It's the Carson Wentz mindset.
A little bit, right.
It's thinking you can do more than you can. That goes all the way back to the game against Oregon in the semifinals when there was that pratfall, and the ball goes flying, and the referee fell
Buckner,
down.
I believe, and all them, yeah.
This belief, confidence that becomes delusion that I can do something that I physically can't do. So you put that guy with Johnny No Risk It, No Biscuit in Tampa, I'm surprised it wasn't 50 interceptions.
I know.
Right?
Yeah, I hear you. You're right. It was not the best recipe for Jameis Winston. He needed a guy, like Sean Payton, like you're saying, to just go like, whoa, reel him in a little bit. Hey there, buddy, hold on. We don't need you to do that, okay? My offense will deliver. Just be patient. Take your time. And, yeah, the message always that you've always heard with that, no risk it, no push the ball down the field, staying in the pocket. Wait for that guy. Take the extra hitch, as you're back there. Wait for that 30-yard post to come open. And I just think it went a little too far for Jameis, and he obviously couldn't handle it the right way.
Hi, I'm Mike Tirico, and thanks for watching. Make sure to hit subscribe for the latest news and highlights from NBC Sports.